All right, time is now 1 o'clock and we are ready to start. There might be a few more people that are joining. Can people hear me? Can you give a knock if you can hear me? You can hear me, Garrett, or what?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Let's just get started then. Alrighty. So this morning we sent out a general message that there'll be a new software update for the robotic being released tomorrow. So this presentation is going to be about this release, what you're getting, about the download procedure and installation, some recommendation regarding pre-season check of robotic, and then in the end there will be time for question and about the update and also about the planner. You're welcome to interrupt me during the session if you have a question, else we will take it in the end. Garrett is also joining, so if there's any questions to the planner, we can also take those afterwards. It will be one session. We are not taking any break, so it's just a continuous session without coffee breaks, unless you take yourself. Okay, I will start up. We'll jump straight into it. So this new software update, what is including in it? One of the things it comes with is dynamic speed control. And that means now you're able to adjust the speed on the go in the field. You don't have to make a new plan. You can log on to the terminal with your phone, and then you get this screen as you see on the right-hand side, and then you can adjust the speed while it's driving in the field. For many of the old users of robotic, this will be a big relief to get this functionality. For the new one, they will just think it's very nice that it's there. Then we changed something about the implements, how they are set up. So when you're creating your implement on the implement page, you now have two possibilities. You can set all the working states. That means when the robot are working in the field, and then you can set when it's non-working. That's when it's in the headlands, when it's turning around. And what it allows for, that is, so you can set two speeds now. You could also do that before, but what else you can set is also the hitch height. So you can set a working hitch height, but you can also set a non-working hitch height, and that means you're now allowed to set another maximum hitch height. I know some of you have requested it. So let's say you have an implement that you can't lift to the top, then you can set the maximum it should lift. So that's a new possibility that comes with this. Then there's also the hydraulic, also been a request that you can set the hydraulic in the plan. So you're able to do that now. Your interface would look a bit different compared to what robot you have. But now this could be an LR with 3 hydraulic outlets. The orange one is marked with PTO LR. That's because some of the LR, the new model of robots, are equipped with PTO. That will be the one they should use. We still have the PTO on the 150D, and that's set up like it used to be. So if you click, for example, on the yellow hydraulic outlets, then you kind of get the same interface as you get on the terminal. So it makes it easier for you to set it correctly. So you can click on the yellow, and then you can click either going right, the right outlet, or the left outlet. And then you can set a percentage, how much oil flow you want. But you also have the possibility to set if it should be continuous, or you can also set a timer on it. let's say it's a hydraulic cylinder that you want to be activated when you lower the hitch. You can say it should be activated for 5 or 10 seconds when it's before it's not driving. Yeah, so that's new functionalities, and both can be set working and non-working, as I showed with the hitch just before. Another functionality that I know many old users will look very much forward to, that is what we call dynamic hitch control. So that means, so before, Robody had to stop, lower the hitch, and start moving forward. And the same when it came to the headland in the other end, it has to stop and raise the hitch before it can continue. And that means, for example, in a seeding operation, that sometimes the seed coulters could block. So we try to fix that by having these new functionalities. Just a short video here showing what I'm talking about. So you see now it's in movement, and then it's starting to lower the implement while it's moving forward. So this is actually taken yesterday, this picture in UK, they are seeding. So they're very happy about that. We also implemented some new driving pattern. I know Gary probably touched base on it in the previous session, but now I'll just touch base on it again because now it's being implemented. So we developed 2 new driving patterns. So you can choose row by row or optimized and different options in there. But now you can also choose coiled and back and front. The one we call coiled is where it all the time is driving in the same conditions. Let's say you're driving in a freshly plowed field. You would prefer that your body have the same condition on each side. This is what the coiled is made for. So it's kind of jumping rows all the time. So you have the same conditions, either compressed or loose soil. We also implemented functionalities called back and front. I guess many that are familiar with tractors, they will know many tractors, they jump one path and then they come back in the field and do the rest of the field. So that's 2 new driving patterns in the planner. We also implemented some other features. That's a logbook download. For some of you who will use what Robody has been doing as kind of documentation of what it's been doing, you now have the functionalities to press on the green button, and then you can download a logbook of what Robody has been doing. You can set a time frame when you want it from. A new functionality is on the top of your dashboard. You now have a button called robots. In there, you will have access to all of your robots. Many of you only have one, but in the future there will probably be more. On that, you can press on the button to the right hand side. Fault reporting tool, we call it. And in there, you have actually direct access to write in if you've seen anything that you would like to document and like to tell us about. Then you can put it in here, and then it's actually going directly into my reporting system to the engineers. So it will be helpful, but we still using the WhatsApp, but this will be a future that this will be a tool that we would like to implement more and more to get it documented, and so we don't end up in a situation where faults get lost somewhere. So please try and use this. That would be very nice. Under the robot side, there's also an info button, so you get more details about your robot. But in there, you also have the possibilities to type in something in your log. Let's say you would like to type in that you changed the oil 100 hours. Then you can type it in your log, and then you have a complete log in here of what happened to the robot during the time you had it. Another request has been to get the Wi-Fi password so you can log on the terminal of the robot, so you can find it as a user. That's also in the info button here. You can see in the left-hand side. So you can copy it in, and then you can log on the terminal if you don't want to use the QR code on the terminal. We also implemented some more advanced options on the terminal. So when you're in your planning mode, Previous, we had this continue operation, restart row, next row, skip rows, but we also put in new options for operation and ending. So there's a possibility that you type in you want to work limited rows. Let's say you come to the field and you only like to work 10 rows. Then you type in 10 rows and press start. Then it will work 10 rows and then it will stop. You also have possibility to type in the area, how many hectares. So let's say you have for 10 hectares in the seeder. So you might type in after 9 hectares it should stop. So that's a possibility now on the terminal. There's also some ending options. So by default, it will go to the gate that you marked in the plan. But you can also tell it to stop after the last row it's worked. So right when it's finished that, then it's stopping. Or you can tell it to return to here. So an example of that could be, let's say you have a fueling point in the field that you like the robot to go to after it's done 9 hectares, then you can force it to do it here. Yes, so that's the planner. Yeah, so that's basically overall what you're getting with the update. And now I'll go more into what the update is and how we get it installed. So this is going to be a large update where we are changing a lot, both on the low and the high level software. And that's because we're implementing so many new features as with the dynamic hits and the speed control that it takes a bigger update of the robot. So for this update, it's very important that it has good connection. So please place it outside. I was told it might require up to 4 GB to download, so that's a lot, but it is also a big update. And they expect that the download time and installation up to 1 hour. So don't be too impatient. It will take some time. And it's important while it's downloading that the remote needs to be connected to the robot. And then it's also important to say that it can vary depending on what software version is already on the robot. So some will get a pop-up saying that are ready to install. Others will not get that pop-up. The robot will start downloading the software once it's online. So for this update, I think it's very important that you think of when you go to a robot and you want to that you have time to do this downloading of the update and do the installation proper. Yeah. So most of you will get this pop-up where it says, "Do you want to apply it?" And if you press yes, then it's starting to update. But if you press no for some reason, then you need to go into your About menu, and then there will be a pop-up showing that there's an update available for your robot. Yes. When hopefully it's successful updated the robot, you get a pop-up again on the robot, and then you can turn off Roboti and wait for up to 5 minutes before doing a restart, so the whole system is restarting, and then you should have an updated Roboti. It is very important that you not turn off the Roboti while it's updating. If for some reason you think it takes too long, please try and contact us first so we can have a look at it, because it will start over again on the downloading process, and that might take up to 4 GB to take that to do that download. So be patient, or please contact us before you turn the key off and say it doesn't work. So yeah, and to best possible to support you in this update, as I said, it's very large and it's a lot of things we are changing. We really recommend that we do it Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because then we best as possible can support you if something goes wrong. Hopefully that's not going to happen, but yeah, please try and do that. If you know on Wednesday, for example, you like to do the update from 9 to 11, it will be very beneficial if you let us know, because then we can prepare for it and be ready to support you. In general, it should not be necessary that we are involved, but it's just in case something happens, then we will be available to support you. Yes. Then a few pre-season check of robotic. So when you have this update installed on the robot, we recommend that you do a calibration of the antenna. Some things can happen during the winter time, so there's a menu on the terminal called service, and under that you have the possibility to calibrate the heading, and you have the possibility to calibrate pitch and roll. So it's an automatic program. You just press on it and you put it in auto, and then it will do the calibration. It's very important it's on flat ground to get a proper calibration, both of heading and pitch and roll. We also recommend that you calibrate the LiDAR. It's just a simple calibration. It does the LiDAR, and it's very important that again it's on a flat ground, but it also need a clear view in front of the LiDAR. So don't park it up against a tree or a barn or something. It needs a clear view in front of the LiDAR. Else it will not be calibrated correctly. And then another thing is, one thing I noticed when I'm coming around is the LiDAR often have very different angles. And I think it's a natural thing that you change the angle of the LiDAR when a thing doesn't work. But it is actually very important that it's sitting in the right position to work correctly. And you cannot calibrate the LiDAR if it's in the wrong position, then it will not work. So that's why I put in for the two models, for the 150D and the LR, it has two different settings. So the 150D, that's pointed here on the drawings, with hole the bolt should be in, or else it's possible to measure if you're on a flat ground to measure the angle of the LiDAR. And the same with the LR, you can also see what hole it should be in, and you can measure the angle of the LiDAR. Just to say, this is a safety system, and it should not be something that we are changing. But my experience is just sometimes people are changing it, and it will be beneficial to just check that nobody changed the angle before you do the calibration, because yeah, then it will not work. So it's important it's in the correct position. All right, that's actually it for now from me. And there's time for questions for sure. Yeah, so I will let Garrett take over the speaker. If he's here, I'm not sure.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So any questions to the update? I know it's you don't know what you're getting before you have it, but it's going to come with some good things, and yeah, hopefully we get some successful updates. So feel free to pop any questions if you have any. See, it's also a small group today, and people are starting to get ready for spring. Yeah, we understand, and that's also why we are pushing the update tomorrow. So hopefully we have all robots updated before the spring starts. We have had a number of robots already running on the new update to test it before we do the full release, and so far it's been successful. So that's we hope that will be the same for all of you. Okay, it was a short presentation, but that's kind of all what we have this time, unless you have something, Garrett.
I had one question to what you said. that someone else might have thought as well. You mentioned when you're calibrating the LiDAR, do you also need to be parked on flat ground to do that as well?
Sure.
And do you know how far in front of the robot should be clear? You said you shouldn't be parked by a tree, but do we know specifically how far?
Yeah, as clear as possible. But I'm pretty sure it's around 5 meters. It's looking ahead. So yeah, just keep it clear and don't put everything in front. Then you'll calibrate it wrong. So great, very good. I think you have a session next week, Garrett, or
yes.
Yeah, and probably agenda will follow.
Yes.
All right. Back to work, unless any questions.
Yes, and someone's just asking if we can send out the document. But I'm sure Hans Christian can handle that.
Yeah, the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yes, we can do that. No worries. We'll do that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.